Alright, hello YouTube. I think we're good to go. Hello to everyone joining in. I'm live on YouTube, live on Twitch, and live on livecoding.tv. I think that's the running theory anyway. It looks like things are working. So today we've got a lot to do. Let's pull up our to-do list. Figure out where we're at. We left off yesterday working on saving and loading content. So we got the background scene done, which you can see here. We got our fancy little backyard and our nice little sidebar where we can drag pieces in from the side, and make little contraptions and balloons and whatever. So that's pretty great. We started save and load, but we didn't quite finish. So that's what we want to get to today. Depending on how fast that gets done, we'll probably start on this or possibly iPhone screen size. I haven't done the shopping for sounds yet, so we can't jump into sounds. This is basically done. I just haven't checked it off. So if you want to sign up, let me know and I can put your name in the list. And you can get the builds before we submit. And so now I think we're going to jump right into saving and loading, right? Did I tweet the thing? I think I tweeted the thing. Nope. No, I didn't. I don't know where it went. Is it that? Yeah, it's this thing down here. Bink. Great. Okay. So let's finish saving and loading. We saved last time. Let me pull the code up and the screen up. So when we save, it gives us a dialog, and I think actually, let me do this. I'm pretty sure that when we save, it continues going on in the background. I think we should probably pause it when that save dialog pops up. But I don't care right now. We're not going to worry about it. So when we save, we type in a name, we hit the save button, and something happens. Save objects. Save action. Here we go. It talks to our save manager, and it saves all of the things, which is great. So what we're going to test, just to get the whole cycle going, I believe where we left off is we had our array of points, we had our array of sticks, and this guy also contains pistons and wheels and everything else, and this is balloons. We'll eventually merge these, but for now they're separate. That's fine. So the issue we had is inside of our sticks array, wheels. We do not currently save wheels correctly, and we know that, so let's throw you over there. So if I put this wheel down and we attach it somewhere, it will save. It will act like it saves, rather. It will save something to disk, but it's not going to load and restore correctly. So I'd like to get to a point where we can debug that pretty quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our load view, load objects, which does nothing. Excuse me, I got some allergies today, I think. So we're going to take load objects. We are going to load all of our things. And then that way we can quickly save and quickly load and iterate on saving the data correctly and loading the data correctly, regardless of our user interface. And then after we get it loading correctly, then we'll put in a better interface for our thing. All right, so we want loaded info is equal to, we're just going to make this load name, right? And since I've saved something as M, that's what we're going to load. It makes it easy. And then we're just going to log this, I guess, for now, just to prove that we get some info back. Great. I want to make sure things are live. Is YouTube working? Because the audio cut off. Yeah, it says the stream is good, so I think it's just my, yeah, we're good. Okay, great. Great. Okay, so let's do load name. Let's get manager or save load manager. This guy's going to return a dictionary of the loaded info. Right, pretty good. So our path to load from. Let's make a path for name helper method, just so we know that we're always using the same name everywhere. Great. Great. Pretty good. So now we can do self path for name. Okay, and then we should be able to, I believe, unarchive. Is that how we do it? Archive root object. What's the opposite of that? I always forget. NS keyed unarchiver. That would be helpful. Oops. Keyed unarchiver. An archive object with file path to load from. We're just going to return it. So that should give us back a dictionary and Bob's your uncle. Did I use that phrase right? I think I did. So now I'm going to fire it up on the simulator. We're just going to put you down. The simulator does not look as good. For whatever reason, it doesn't do the blurred effect. But that's okay. So we can save as M. And then if we load, it tries to load. And then it looks like it did something pretty good. Okay. So now if we go to our physics view, our loaded objects, we can do points, remove all objects, balloons, remove all objects, sticks, remove, oops, beg your pardon, remove all, come on now. Here we go. And I believe those are just the three, that's the only state we have. So now we can do points, add objects from array, loaded info, object for key, points, sticks, and balloons. Right, that's what we called them. Yes, we did. And now after this runs, I think it'll just work. So I come down here and I hit load. Yeah, it pops right back up to the top. Load, great. So if I come here and if I add in a bunch of stuff and things and I hit play and then I hit load, pop. Awesome. That's surprisingly good. So what happens, here's the big deal. We're going to save with the wheel and then we load and the whole thing goes crazy. Constrain wheels. I have a wheel object, got unarchived successfully, and none of it spoke, so it didn't even load. It didn't even try to load. Okay, let's fix that. Right? Perfect. Let's make sure that object will just crash next time too. Okay, cool. Perfect. That's what we want. So now we go. Oh, we don't even have a. Okay, we didn't even put even a temporary method in for coding. That's fine. Okie doke. Now, what I think we should do, if I use this guy, this will create something at the center with the radius, which will auto create all of our stuff, right? And then I'll have a P2 and P3. So I'll have a P0, P1, P2, P3, and center object. And then after I create this, then I just need to set, just like we did, I think for the engine. Isn't that what we did? Yeah, we just set the piston, and maybe we did that for piston as well, or engine. No, just the engine. That's fine. That's what we did here too. We just forced the old values for that point and the angle for that point to be in the right place. So if we do that for the wheel, if we just force all of our points to have the correct values, then we will be fantastic. So let's do that. Let us do that. Let's go here. Got some folks in my house, by the way, cleaning. So our house flooded however many times ago, however many weeks ago. So I might need to pause and mute just for a little bit sometime during the stream to go sort any questions they might have out. And then a radius, because our radius I think can be this number with float. Bam. Okay, great. Because I think our radius can change, can't it? Yeah, because it's an input. Our balloon always has a static radius, but this guy doesn't. Okay. So now we get, we want to decode this guy, center, if I'm not mistaken. Center with center, and radius float value. So now we can do a knit with knit with center. That's what I want. What do we call it? We call it center and radius. Okay, so now, even just that, without doing anything else, we're going to be really close. Let's test it and make sure that that at least builds a wheel that does not crash, right? So I'm going to put this guy in. I'm going to attach a board here and a balloon, because why would you not attach a balloon to a wheel? And we're going to save that. And then we're going to hit play. We're going to hit play. It goes. We're going to hit load. And it pops back up, but the board freaks out. Interesting. That might be okay. Interesting that it did that. Let's get things looking so that way, like the rotation. Let's trash everything. Let's do a different one. Pause. Let's get the rotation like that. We save. Now when we load, the rotation's it's gonna go 90 degrees. So now what we need to do is we need to load in all of these guys. Right? We really need to load them in like that. For P0. P0, let's load our points in. So I think what was happening there where the stick did not enjoy its life and things just started free falling. That's definitely an issue where the points that we're using in our decoding, some of the points are surviving and some of them are not. So for instance, this guy here might need to be able to go, actually can we do self replace point self.p0, come on now, with this, Can we do that? That's good because we want all of the points to be the same. Center. So that guy gets saved as the correct point. Okay. So there are places like in the engine here. This, I think I need to not do this. I think what I need to do is I need to do self replace. Come on, there we go. Replace point. Piston.p1 with p2. I think that's what I need to do. Because the decoded object this guy, we need to make sure that the object that is used in the decoder is the one that's actually used inside of the object, because so we have an array of points. Let me pull the screen up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 points in this wheel. It's trash. So we have 5 points in this wheel. We have the center point, and we have 4 points on the edge. We have 2 points on this board, and when I attach them, the board still has 2 points. The wheel still has 5 points, but they share a common point. So the points array is going to have, what, 6 points, right? And the board is going to share one of those 6 points with the wheel. So when I save this and then load it, right now the stick's points that the stick is using, those points are not in the points array because something, right? I think they are here. They are now. But they are not the way we had been doing it. So I think that's the issue, I believe. So let's kill that. So now we don't have any points in our points array, do we? We do. They're just not rendering, which is interesting. But things seem to be attached correctly. So why wouldn't they render? Oops, let's go to render. Oh, you know why? Because it has an image. Yeah, I don't know why it would not be rendering. They should definitely be rendering. I was thinking it was because they, so points have different types. Up here we can see they have they have different screw types, so we load different images, so that way they don't all look the same. And I was thinking it might have been that, where the image was not getting set correctly, but it's not that way. So decode, all that stuff is fine. So it should be rendering, right? Okay, let's anyway, let's get the wheel out again. Oops, let's pause it. Let's get the wheel out. Let's put him right there. So he's sideways a little bit. Let's save and load. And we cannot tell if he's sideways because our points aren't rendering, which we just talked about. Okay. Now, what I think we can do is to help us debug this, after our load, we're going to validate our data, right? return data. So our points array is data points and sticks. Come on now. Sticks. There we go. And so for mm stick, come on now. Give me my thing. Points contains, we only have contains object, so now we need for mm stick, or sorry, mm point, and stick all points. If points contains object, then we're good to go. Otherwise, if points does not contain object, we have a problem, right? So let's make sure that our points array contains all the points that we're loading. And it did, so that's good. That's something. And it looks like the points are in the correct place, so it's just a rendering problem, which is interesting. So let's look in stick and figure out what we can do, what this is using to render that we're not expecting. It is definitely rendering our stick properly. So what if we did this? What if we did 2.0, there we go, radius of 10, oops, yep, 10, start angle, end angle is in pi. So I'm just gonna force drawing a circle at 0.0. So UI color, red color, set fill, great. So this is gonna draw a gigantic red circle at 0, 0 whenever we draw a stick. And you can see it does. So it draws a circle just around 0, 0, and this other point that doesn't have the red circle is the P1. So now when I load, I'm not getting any see, that one does though. That's interesting. Let's also draw one at P1. We'll do it again down here. There we go. So when I load, so the stick is doing it correctly, but it just doesn't have, it just apparently doesn't have the image. Why wouldn't it have the image? It's drawing a dot properly. Size to render is what? 12 by 12, which feels pretty good. Center is at, that's basically 0, 0. It is now exactly 0, 0. I'm skeptical that this image is loading. It says it is, but let's see how big the image is. It's clear. Now we load. Our image size is what we think it is. So why is it not drawing anything at that point? then when I render the wheel, the wheel's render method has a similar problem. What do we think? Can we think of a reason? Why would that happen? Why would that happen? Browse the wheels image. So what if we do refetch the image in the render method? I don't want to do this, but let's just see if this changes anything. Right? We're definitely in experiment mode where we just try random different things and see. See, now it's loading. So it's definitely an issue with image, I guess with image caching or something. Because we're just using image named. When we initialize the thing init with coder, oh, I'm doing super init. I should do self init for the point. And now the world is correct. I bet that was the issue. Yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine. Okay, great. Good. So now let's go to our render method and let's pull these paths out. We don't want the giant red blotches anymore. Great. Very good job. So we pull our box down. We have a balloon with a piston and an engine and a stick and a balloon and a wheel and a spring attached to a different balloon, and we hit save. We hit load, and now you're freaking out because what did we freak out about now? Don't you lie to me now. Exception breakpoint. Let's try again. There we go. Load, and now we get, there we go. This guy, engine. So the engine is not so after the init with coder, after the engine inits with coder, it should have a P0 and a P1, shouldn't it? But it does not. Because why? And sticks init with coder. It does. It sets it right there. The reason it doesn't is because we need to do super encode with coder. Let's make sure we call super everywhere. Super. You don't have one. You don't have one. Super. That's fine. P0 and P1 are encoded from super, so we don't need to worry about those. piston has its call correct. This guy, this guy, this guy is an E1. Okay, now I think we're good. Let's try again. So we put a stick, we've got like a piston over there. We get a balloon. We're going to put an engine down. Alright, like that. With a wheel on it. And a piston here. With a spring. With a balloon. That's all of our parts, is it not? I think so. Feels like it would be. We got boards, we got pistons, we got engines, we got springs, we got balloons, and we got a wheel. And let's rotate this guy a little bit and save. Clear and then load. Good. It's pretty close. Our balloons did not get their points correct, but that's okay because we're going to debug that next. Let's go into our save load manager, and in here, when we validate, array by adding objects from array, balloons. There we go. Now I think we'll get here. We'll get in that breakpoint. No, we did not get in that breakpoint. Why wouldn't we get in that breakpoint when that very clearly replace point? So it's definitely because we're setting stuff here, and we need to do this is definitely the issue. I don't know why. I'm a little bit concerned. Why our validation method did not catch that. And a balloon, what does that extend? Nothing. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Why would that be? That should have had a really bad time. It should have had a really bad time right here. Right? So if we trash, we hit load. What? Load. Sticks is nil. That's a big reason why. Dumbo. Okay, so let's go to here. Before we fix this, that's the correct thing. But I want to make sure that our validation method works. So now we should hit the breakpoint. And we do. Okay, good. There we go. Load. Yep, now we hit the exception, which is great. That's what we want. So now we can fix the balloons like we wanted to. Bam. Bam, like that. Hang on just one moment. Success. Sorry about that. Had to take a quick call from my wife. We're buying a little laptop bag for my daughter, who got her very first laptop, which is awesome. Okay, so now if we fire it up, let's see if after we replace those points, now we're loading. We should be loading correctly now. Yeah, looks like we're doing the right thing. So let's make sure that we can load. We hit load, and we're not still okay. So now what did we do wrong here? So the stick we care about is the balloon. Yep, that makes sense. The point we care about is this guy at 40 and 0. That definitely feels wrong. So the balloon, wait, which balloon was it? 78580. So it's this guy. His center is there, and his tail is at 40, so his tail is not loading correctly, it looks like. So if we go into balloon and we have a decoder. Oh, that's why, because I'm replacing it with the wrong one. Great. Easy fix. I'm glad I put that exception there. And we load. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Perfect. Now we can load all of our stuff. Cool. Okay, so right now we're hard-coded to load a single file. But that's okay. We're going to fix that next if I can figure out how to type. Save and load our functional. UI next. Cool. Cool. Okay, so what I think would be cool to do for loading is we can save as a name to load. Let's go here. Let's go load objects. I think what I would like to do is I would like to show a screen here in the middle that overlays the whole thing, that shows a picture of the item, right? Which means we need to render a picture of this guy to disk. So that way when I save this device, it actually saves a picture of the device next to the file we're gonna load. So how are we gonna do that? We have the min and max bounds of the device. So let's do this. Where's our save method? Oh, we want our save method in here. Thank you very much. Save points. Save sticks. So what I think we can do in our physics render method, we just render all the sticks and all the balloons. And in our draw rect, is that the order we render them in? Yeah, we just render just like that. Perfect. Okay. So to save here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a context. CG context, isn't that what we call it? UI image begin, UI begin, UI context begin. Oh gosh, what is it? It's we do it in Spring. I never remember the name of this method. UI graphics begin image context. UI begin image graphics context. UI context begin image graphics. Let's go here. We're going to create a context. CG size make. We're going to just do 100 by 100 just to prove that we can. here. Like that. There we go, right to file. Let's do, that's our path name. Let's make another one for the thumbnail name. Okay. So now we're also going to do here a CG context apply. Come on. Scale. That's what I want. And what is, I want this is what I want. Okay, so now we have our context. We're going to scale it by 10, right? So that'll make it 1,000 by 1,000, basically. Yeah, that's what we need to do. For stick, and sticks. And we do the same thing for, what was it, balloons? Let's just see which one of these works. I'm going to get the scale wrong, and that's going to be okay. There we go. So now we have our thing. Let's load our contraption. Let's hit save. Save, which is great. And now actually what I should have done is I need to just print this. There we go. Let's do it again real quick. That way I can get the path of the image we just saved. Load, save, M. Let's make sure that something's saved there, hopefully. There we go. And our path for name, we don't need the double, whatever it's called. Nothing exists in there, so let's scale it the other way and see what happens. But that means we need to, actually what we can do is, there we go, there we go. So now I should be able to load, I believe. Yep, great. And resave it, great. Still nothing. So let's make this 1,000 by 1,000 without scaling it. Load, save. So now something should show up in our file. Still nothing. You are what I think you are. Alright, so if we begin the image context with 1,000 things, 1,000 pixels, points, whatevers. We render into that context. we're doing the exact same thing as DrawRect, basically. Right? So we begin the image context, we draw stuff, we get the image, and we end it. That's what we're doing. Why would this is an enormous context. We can make it 2000 if we really care. If we want to go big or go home. Well, one of the big reasons why is because we're pulling the image out of it before we render anything. That would be a reason. Okie doke. Load, we save. There we go. And now we have our thing. Great, we have a picture of our whatever it's called. Wonderful. So now if I scale it again, because I want a thumbnail, I don't want a gigantic image. Right, so load, save. Let me make sure I'm hopefully scaling it the correct way. And we're not. See? Let's just scale by 2. So yeah, it makes it larger. So if we scale by -2, it should make it smaller, right? Am I crazy? No, because -2 scaling doesn't make any sense. We should scale by 0.5. Sometimes you just get in the zone and you make really dumb decisions. Yeah, now it's much smaller. Great. So if we make a context 100 by 100, right, we want our sticks and our balloons. We want our CG point. This is going to be our translate, right, is equal to CG point 0, and our CG size make. No, we're just going to make our. This is going to be our max P. Array by adding objects from array. 4, and then point P and stick all points. All points. There we go. If this is actually going to be, is there a CG point infinite? CG float max. There we go. So if p.x is less than translate.x, then translate.x is equal to p.x. Same for y. We're just getting the bounding box, right? And then that way we can do a tight bounding box around the object. If it's greater than, this is going to be max p. There we go. And so now we do translate.x minus equals 40. Translate.y, and then max p. We're just going to make it a little bit larger. So we have some buffer around it. Right? Let's keep this at 1000 by 1000 just so we have a larger canvas to debug with. So now we're going to translate to this guy. CG context translate our context to translate X and translate Y. There we go. And we're still just going to scale by 2. We're not going to worry about this guy yet, but we're going to use him to scale also. So we save. So now it should be in the top left corner with a 40 pixel buffer. And it is not that way at all. Finder. Oops, let's go to our simulator. Put a wheel. We're going to put a wheel way down here, and we're going to save it as N. Right? So N is doubling it. It's translating the wrong way. We need to translate the other way. So now when we load and we save, now it should be in the top left corner. And it is, but it's way in the top left corner. Translate plus equal? No. We want translate minus. Is it because of the scale? So that looks good. So now if we scale by half, it should still fit in the thing. Scale should come after translate, for sure. For sure. Maybe I had it right and it looked awkward. No, it's definitely clipping. Am I doing it in the wrong order? I don't think so. Maybe I am. These transforms, man, always not quite what I think. Yeah, so I was just doing it in the wrong order. I should have scaled and then translated. Okay, so now we got to figure out our scale. So our CG size make is max p dot x minus translate dot x and max p dot y minus translate dot y. So that's the size we are. And our target size is going to be 100 by 100. So if we are this size, then we want to, CG float scale X. I think we just want a flat scale. Is let's just scale one direction right now. Device target size dot width divided by device size dot width. I think that's what we want. So now it should be, yep. That looks like it's going to be 100 by 100. Let's measure in Le Photoshop. Thank you, Google. Google says, nice idea. Looks interesting. I definitely want to play this game. You can play this game so soon. So soon. This is, I think, going to be 50, isn't it? No, with 100. Look at us. Look at us doing so good. It's 100 by 71. Awesome. Awesome. So right now we're only doing it by the width. And so what I think we want to do is we're going to do min of that and height. There we go. Because our device just happens to be wider than it is tall. But next we're going to test. So we load. This is wider than it is tall. So when I save it, let's also do our canvas to be 100 by 100. There we go. So we load, we save. Great. Here we go, 100 by 100. Awesome. And now that's wider than it is tall. Let's also test it if it's taller than it is wide. Right? Let's stretch this guy out vertically a little bit. So now if I save this guy, that's our wide one, and this is our tall one that also fits. Awesome. Cool. If we were pros, we would center it. Are we pros? Probably not. Let's do translate. Device size. So what would we do to translate a little bit extra to make sure here that it's centered where we want it to be? So translate is in device coordinates. So we have device size. I think what we want to do is we want to CG point, this is going to be translate center. This tells us if it's wider than it is tall. If it's wider than it is tall, it'll be more than 1. Right? Otherwise, it'll be less than 1. I think we can use this guy here to help us a little bit. Let's save. So our scale is what? Our scale is 0.19. Oh, I think what we do is we do that and then device size dot height times scale. I think that's what we do, actually. So our center, yeah, one of them's 100 and one of them's 72. So now what we do, dot x is equal to target size dot x minus that dot x divided by 2. And this is y. Sorry, this is width, and this is height. Yep, there we go. And so now we should have the translation amount that we need in either the x or the y direction to help us center the image inside of the canvas. All right, so translate center is 13. So we do -.x and -.y. Oops. Pretty sure that does it. Let's find out. So we load, we save. I did not set a breakpoint like I thought I did. I did not change anything. Did it? This guy is definitely wider than it is tall. Rocket. No, see, he's not being translated at all. Oh, that's why we want divided by scale, because this is in the coordinates of the canvas, and dividing by scale will put it back in the coordinates of the device, which is what we want to be translating by. So now, if I load and then if I save as our device, now it should be centered. Yeah, except it translated the wrong way. Load, save. There we go. Look at that. Now it's centered centered vertically. Awesome. Awesome. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It has a little extra buffer here on the wheel because there's a point right here, and so the point has the buffer, and the furthest point on the balloon is here, so its buffer contains the radius of the balloon. But that is okay. That's fine. Okay, cool. So now we have thumbnails, which is pretty great. I like that a lot. So let's close those out. Let's save thumbnails 2. Awesome, I like it. So now we have thumbnails, and next is to get a nice load UI, right, where we can scroll through all of our devices and then select the one we want to load. Which would be pretty great. So let's go to, what do we want to go to? Oh, so here's another thought actually that I just had. So what if we want to let the user load in multiple devices at a time? Right? So I can clear, I can make like, let's clear that. I can make like suspension. There we go. Right here, like this, where I create a little device. There we go. So now I've got like a little suspension box that when I drop it is boing, gives a little bit of padding. Bonk. So if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to save that. No, not the wheel. Not the wheel. I want to save the box. So I hit save and I name it Spring Box. Spring Box, right? Except it saved it with the wheels, which is stupid. So now when I load, right now it just loads the device. What if I let you load in multiple devices? So that way you could add in parts, you could save pieces of things, right? Like you could make a thing out of this, you could save it, and then you could load in multiple of them and just copy and paste to make your devices bigger and bigger. Let's get the UI worked out, and then we might do that. That might be a cool way to save just pieces of devices and then build bigger devices out of those pieces of devices. I think that might be cool. Let's go to our physics view. Let's make a load. Let's make a load view, right? Loading device view. Oops, I don't want it to extend in this object, but that's, come on now. Let's do loading device view. Yes. What is the deal? Did it do it or not? No, it didn't. That's fine. There we go. Fixed. So now our loading view is going to have knit with frame. Great. Knit with frame. We're going to give it the same background as our sidebar. Where did our sidebar go? Is it that? Oh wait, no, yeah, you're in the right spot. There we go. We're gonna add our blur effect, which is great. Okay. We're also going to add a scroll view, maybe a collection view. Maybe that's overkill. No, I think a collection view is going to be fine. I think that'll actually be, that might end up being easier than trying to do it all ourselves. Knit frame, CG rect inset, self bounds. We're going to inset it by 100 and 200 because why not? Then here we're going to do layer dot border color dot corner dot layer dot corner radius of 10. And background is going to be white. This will actually make gray. That's fine. And 2. Okay, let's see. Let's see what that. Oh, that we haven't even done anything. Oops. Let's go here. Go to our physics view. We will loading view. Great. Whoa. Okay. Now it will show up when we tap the load button, and we'll see what it looks like. Load. It looked like it had a hard day. What are you angry about? invalid expression. What? Left bounds, invalid expression. That does not, I don't understand what's going on. Our frame exists, we have a frame, but now we don't have a frame and we don't, what? This right here says we have one, except suddenly we don't. Does this make sense to anybody? Why is it freaking out? It's like frame suddenly doesn't exist after so bounds exists. It's happy about life. That guy's okay, that guy's okay. Guy's okay. That guy should be okay. Now when we create CG rect inset with 100 and 200, that should fit just fine. But it's not going to. There must be an issue with that inset that it's not happy about. Right? That's my only thought. Collection frame. Looks like a valid frame to me. Oh gosh, yeah, okay. It just needs a layout. Of course you do. Okay. We have a frame, oops, and collection view layout. So our UI collection view layout, UI, what kind of layouts do we have? I think we just want like a flow layout. Yeah, I think that will do nicely. We want this guy, we want scroll direction. Horizontal scroll direction. What else do we want? Minimum interim spacing of 10, that's probably fine. Item size. We decided they were 100. Section inset, we don't care about that. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Moss. I'm developing the game in Objective-C. We are... Oh, interesting. Okay, so there we go. Awesome. So far, so good. And we're doing it all in 2 weeks. We are on day 12, I believe. Yep, because tomorrow is 13 and Sunday is 14. So, hey, there's a good loading view. That looks fine. And then now we need to set our delegate and our data source. Delegate self. Okay. Yeah, so it has been only 2 weeks, which is pretty great. We've gotten a lot done. A lot done in just a short amount of time. And I'm pretty proud of our progress. All of the code is open source, by the way, so you can get everything in GitHub. Everything is available, and all of the code has been written 100% on stream. So you can see how nothing and kind of how we slowly built everything up. It's pretty great. There we go, which we want. And now delegate. The delegate care about did select. I think we just care about did select. There we go. That's the only one we care about because that's when we load. Awesome. Now we also want, what's our collection view cell? What's our default cell look like? It has a content view. That's fine. That's fine. How are we doing? Great. Okay, so now we need to get the manager, our save load manager, to give us the number of items. So we can actually just all saved items. Right? And that is going to give us the names, images, names, and paths. I think that'll be fine. And thumbnail path. Oh, yeah, that's fine. So file manager, default manager. We want items at path. Is that what? Contents of directory at path. Yeah, shallow search. Pretty good. That's what we want. So we want. That's what we want. Contents of directory at path. And we want our documents path. There we go. I don't care about errors because all of our code is always perfect. No bugs. No bugs at all. Okay. Filtered array using predicate. NS predicate. Predicate with. We want. Evaluate has prefix. Or has suffix. Dot parts. Right? So these are all of our, there we go. So these are all of our files for our devices. The map function, that's fine. NS mutable array output. Okay. And a string path in here, contents. Output, add object. So the name, oops, sorry, name, last path component, and how do I strip off the file extension? Value strings, working with paths. There we go. String by deleting path extension. That's what I want. I always hit the wrong thing. String by deleting path extension. Okay, so that's our name, which is good. And now we want our path to our thumbnail, which is self, no for name. Awesome. Okay, and now we can return output. Okay, so now we have all saved items. That's good news. So now here we also want to import our save load manager. There we go. Now this guy is going to be shared instance all count. Ta-da! Now we have our items here. This is not even remotely optimized, but it's only going to run once. This dictionary item. Object at index, index path.row. Okay. And now what do we need? Now we have a UI collection view cell. Direct make 0, 0, 100, 100. There we go. Now do these have titles? Nope, they don't. That's fine. No problem. So the content view, add subview, and this image view is going to be our frame cell.bounds content mode. We don't even need content mode, we just need image contents of file item path. Right, so now we should be able to see all of the things. Now we should Yep. Load. Oh, it freaks out. Why do you freak out? Items sure looks like it's doing good. Okay. We have a cell, image view, content. We return the cell. But now it's angry. What is it about it that makes it angry? Created the correct layout, didn't I? Just create a flow layout, which it looks like it did just fine. You don't have to extend this, do you? It's a concrete layout object. Okay, let's look. Why would we have an assertion failure? If any of you guys know, let me know. That's just what I want to know. What does it mean? Oh, you need to register. Even just for a basic cell, you still need to register. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's do that. Register class, UI, collection, view, cell. For use identifier, collection, view, cell. That's fine. Do I need to have like a DQ as well? Delegate. It's probably in the data source. I already do that one. I already do that one. Oh, okay, that's fine. So instead of that, I want DQ. Oh, come on. Let's get rid of the build one. I was creating new ones and I needed to deallocate. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. Image is nil. It doesn't have a path object, it has a thumb object. There we go. So now we should see our thumbnails, and we do. Great. We could probably make them bigger, right? .300 by 300. Okay. Great. Now we also want dot minimum line spacing to be 40, and we want our save load manager. We want to generate larger thumbnails. So let's actually go to our constants file and define a thumbnail. 300. So that way this guy has that. We have here we can define our context to be the correct size. Target size is really what we want. we go. I like it. So I hit load. We have all of our stuff. We can go to loading device. Oops. Yep, it's fine. Here, the item they select. And what are we going to do? Yes, notification. Post. This is going to be. I'm doing this instead of a delegate. Because I really, well, one little thing. There we go, and we're going to do item.name, not .name, object for. There we go. And so then up here, no, in physics view, when we load, we're going to do load object named notification note. And a string name is note.object, and then we can go here. And loading view, oops. Oh yeah, it'll just remove itself. That's fine. Name. Okie doke. And here, we're also going to have self super view. And our physics view needs to rands about life. Add observer self selector did load device named. The name and our object is nil, and our name is, what was the name of that notification? This guy who has 2 thumbs and wants to load a notification. Dialog. Remove observer just to be a good citizen. Okay, so now I think we can load all of our stuff. We click, nothing happened. Oh, see, that time it worked. Why is it not? Oh, because my gestures are stealing the touches, I think. On. So we have the select gesture and the grab point gesture. Do we have any others? No. Grab point gesture. There we go. And these are always, oops, a tap and a pan. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Doke. And then here we turn our devices back on. Load that device. Load that device. Load the rocket. Load this thing. Cool. Save. Larger thumbnail. Kapow. Load. Oh, you know what we're doing? When we DQ, there's a method for like prepare for reuse or something, right? Isn't that a true thing? It might be on the collection view. So anyway, we want this guy to remove all dot subviews, make objects perform selector, remove from super view. Because what's happening, you can see this guy, he has two. He has himself, the high resolution one, and he has the low resolution one. But it's adding a new image view, which is bad news. So there we go. Much better. So here's this. You can see, you can overwrite it. Yeah, much better. Much better. Light gray. Awesome. Now we need a header and a footer buffer. I think we do that in our flow layout. We can set a header size and a header reference size. Yeah. So if we do layout dot header reference size 40 and 300. Reference size at the beginning. We do. Great. Look at us. We got loading stuff done. Way to go. Way to go. So now we can go add the name to the cell. Is fine. Text to line, ns text to line, right? Beg your pardon? Yep, that's fine. Object for key, name. Yeah, now we have our names. So let's restate this as Rocket so he gets the higher resolution centered thumbnail. And we got it. Great. Springbox. Load. Let's see what's happening here. Is it loading? Is it loading the wrong one? It's not loading anything. Why not? Items. I get the item. I post. So it's, why wouldn't it get the notification? I bet it's not getting the notification because sometimes it deallocates, this view deallocates before the notification can get sent. Would that make sense? I don't change to a delegate pattern because it's easier and it's not going to break. Loading device view delegate category, and we want it to be a protocol. There we go. Now this guy is going to be in here. Fix view. There we go. Awesome. This guy is going to have a delegate. A week. Okay. And we will synthesize it. Synthesize delegate. And then we do there we go. And our load device name. Load device named. There we go. And that. Then my stream keeps pausing. I believe it. My upload is not fantastic. Google says I'm doing okay. So YouTube might be okay. I don't know about live coding, why and if and how and whatever. There's our larger thumbnail. This is not making any sense to me. Oh, we want that would help. Now it makes sense. Cool. Crash, and now if I load this guy, we can load that guy. Cool. Awesome. So now we have. We need to add a delete button. So how do we add a delete button? Let's do a supplementary view, right? How does it know how many supplementary views I have? And if I'm not allowed to return nil, then what do I return? So data source, our delegate. Show menu, can perform action. Where do we define the supplementary views? So let's go look it up. Okay, here's what we're going to do instead. What I think we want to do is we're going to add a rounded rect is fine. Set title, not delegate. Delete. Set title. Delete UI control state. Size to fit. Size to fit. There we go. Content view. Add subview. That guy. And then we're going to put him in the bottom center, I guess. Oh, that's the wrong. That's a very old build. That's an equally old build. All right, let's start it from here. And then I think we want delete dot center equal to cg point make cell dot bounds dot width by 2 size dot height minus delete dot bounds dot size dot height. I think that's what we want, and then it'll put a little delete button down here. Nothing happens right now if you, which is fine. Target self delete item. Delete item, UI control, event, touch up inside. For that item, but we don't have any way of which index path it is, which is a little annoying, to be perfectly honest. So what if we do this? This array cells equal collection view visible cells for collection view cell. And now we can do if cell.contentView.subview contains the button, and we found our cell. So now we want the index path equals collection view index path for cell, right? And then we can do collection view whatever. No, I want the collection view cell. I want the collection view. I want that guy. We want perform batch updates. Completion. Oh. Delete element index path. I think that. Oh, yeah, sorry. Bink. Oh, so it already does animate, so I don't need to do the perform batch updates. I thought that was required. Bonk. Let's delete this guy. It freaks out because and it freaks out because we didn't actually delete it. So now we need to go to save load manager. We need void delete item for name, right? This file manager, default manager, remove item at path, self path for name, and thumb for name. Okay, that should do it. Oops, except we didn't actually call it, as is my habit. Let's do it here. Save load manager, shared delete item for name. The name is in the UI label. Oh, actually we can do that. Oops. Right? Pretty good. Let's make sure we delete the one we think we're deleting. Yeah, man, I will. I'll add you on Skype and we'll work it out. Yeah, they pause a lot. Pretty sure it streams on YouTube okay. My audio there is at least consistent because that's where I have it, my headphones plugged into my YouTube audio to double check. So if I delete that guy, delete the name, larger thumbnail, bonk. So now if I delete the rocket, it deletes. Cool. Yeah, I think we're good. So now I just have that. Cool. So now I need a cancel button up here. And then we're finished. UI button cancel. UI button direct. Great. Set title. Cancel. Equals CG point make. There we go. And now for the height, I'm going to do that and the cancel.value size.height. Awesome. So now we should have a cancel button. Add target, self, cancel button pressed. There we go. Load. I don't. Did I not? I did. Set the title. I added it. Size to fit. I bet it was the size to fit. That's the problem. This guy here, because we don't use our notification anymore, and we don't need our dealloc anymore. Okay. Here we go. There's our cancel button. Great. Cool. And load is done. Awesome. So now spot we can save. We should if we should, I think we probably should actually. Let's just go ahead and do it. I don't want to remove what's currently on screen when we load. Don't remove what's on screen when device loads. All right, and then that way you can create parts. Load, I can load another box, and now I have 2 boxes. I can load the box again, now I have 3 boxes. Right, I can save that, and now I have lots of boxes. There we go. Bonk. Save as whatever. Bonk. That's interesting that that didn't there we go. Now it snapped in. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, I think we're going to call it there. We've done a lot today. We have done the entire load dialog here, which has our names of our things, little delete buttons. We can load contraptions in. Our other contraptions, so I can easily make a box and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I think we're in a really good place. There's lots to do. And next up is probably, let's look at our list. We just did that one. We'll either do attributes or we'll do sound. I'm not sure which one we'll do next. Maybe we'll decide tomorrow. It might depend, honestly, not. And I'd also like to get it on iPhone. So we might actually do iPhone next so we can launch for both iPhone and iPad. That would be good. And anyways, thanks guys for coming out. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. Check out the website. It's in the description. Follow on Twitter or subscribe or whatever you want to do. And we're going to do this again tomorrow and Sunday up our 2-week adventure of doing this. Everything so far has been done on stream. 100% of the code is open source. So Sunday we're going to ship a game to iTunes in whatever state it ends up on Sunday, which hopefully will be a pretty awesome state. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye. Okay, there's actually one more thing that I just realized, and I want to go ahead and fix it before we end the day. So I'm going to do one more quick thing. I'll get my headphones back in, make sure life is working. So the last thing I want to do is, oops, no, I don't want to run it on that. I want to run it on the simulator so I can show you. So the issue is that when we cancel, remember we had to disable the gestures so I can drag stuff around. Great. If I load a new device, or yeah, a new little contraption, then I re-enable the gestures just fine. But if I load and then cancel, our gestures stay disabled and we can't move anything, which is a problem. That is a problem. So I want to make sure YouTube is still seeing the thing. Are we live again? So one last thing I want to do is fix that real quickly. We just need to add a method to the delegate. Yeah, it says it's back up, so hopefully it's recording. The delegate for the loading view is, we have it if we load a device, but if we cancel a load, cancel loading device, that's what we want. And so now in our physics view, we just need to re-enable, right? And then now I think we are going to be good to go. So now if we press the cancel button pressed, self.delegate, cancel, and now we should be able to cancel loading the view and still have load, cancel, and our gestures are back in action. Cool. Cool. I love it. There we go. Load, cancel. Yeah, and things still play nicely. Okay, cool. That is it for real this time. And now I'm going to go ahead and commit that. Fixed cancel loading causing gesture freeze is not exactly as descriptive as we want. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to ship this build out to the beta testers. If you want a beta test, hit me up on Twitter or email or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to get that in real quick, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye guys.